acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we gather, the Turrbal people of Yuggera land, as well as the Woiwurrung people of the Wurundjeri land. We recognise their continued connection to the land and waters of this beautiful place, and acknowledge that they never ceded sovereignty. We respect all Turrbal and Woiwurrung elders and ancestors, and any First Nations people here today.
I can't take it anymore!
Good afternoon, good evening, good day, and good morning, Blurtsters, wherever you are around the world. You are listening to the Blurt.
You absolutely are listening to the new Blurt. Good evening to all, one and all. It's 13 past 8 on a Tuesday night. We do this on a Tuesday night. Poddy comes out on the Monday, just about without fail. And I would just like to say, and we will get to it very, very soon, welcome back Wency, because he'll be back on the show tonight. If you don't know, he wasn't there last week, but he will be there tonight, which is fantastic. So we've got a great show tonight. We've got a few things we want to have a chat about. And the first one is great people that did stuff. I'm going to have a bit of a chat about Kimberly Kitching. Now, you might not know who Kimberly Kitching is, but very, very unfortunately and tragically, she's just died at the ripe old age of 52, which is just 1 year younger than me. So that makes me scary when I hear. It's a scary thing to hear when I hear things like that. So she's of the Labor Party, and she was in a faction whereby she was under a lot of pressure to make certain decisions that some of the other factions weren't particularly happy about. She was a lifelong school friend of Chloe Shorten, Bill Shorten's wife. And as you can imagine, they are having a very, very hard time. And obviously, Kimberly's family are. But the reason that I wanted to bring her up to tonight is because she has done some really good things, and they're worth talking about, and what she did before she got into Parliament as well. The second segment will be What's on the Box, and What's on the Box is all about what Wency and I are listening to tonight. Now, look, be very excited and make sure you're sitting down, because Wency is talking about monkey magic. And if you don't know what monkey magic is, that means you're probably too young to be listening to this podcast. So, go and find out what monkey magic is. Go and ask your dad, mum, whatever the situation is. Come back, listen to the podcast. You'll enjoy it far more. Anyway, I'm going to be talking about West Side Story. No, not the whatever, 8, or I can't remember what the date was officially and originally came out. We're talking about the remake by Steven Spielberg, and we'll just have a little bit of a chat about that and the comparisons of, which there always is. And then, obviously, the last segment of the night will be Be-Education. And we are very, very proud and very happy to bring Be-Education to you, because it hasn't been around for a little while, and I'm sure and I know that it is definitely one of Wency's favourites, if not his favourite. So I think with saying all of that, we should introduce a wonderful, wonderful co-host. Having a real problem speaking tonight. Words are just not flowing from my mouth, which is just not good. Anyway, a wonderful co-host. And again, I don't have what I need, and this is really, really annoying. So you're just going to have to bear with me for 2 seconds here. Here we go. This is all we're going to get. I'm sorry about it, but here we go. Wency!
Was that me taking off in a rocket?
Well, I thought at least that'll get you out of the water.
Yes, well away from the water. That's what we needed in that arc in the last couple of weeks.
Look, it's so good to have you back on the show, buddy. How are you faring now? Last time we had no power, no house, no internet. It was not a good situation. How are we looking now?
No, so apologies for last week. Had very bad time with the.
No need to apologise, my friend. You just had a major disaster. No apologies needed. Jesus, the only one should be apologising is the government for not doing enough, sitting on their ass.
Where the bloody hell are you?
Yeah, well, exactly right. That's what the show title is all about. Where the bloody hell are they? Where were they, Wency? Did you see any governmental help when you were up there? I mean, what's the situation?
It's hard to tell because the first week after the house got flooded, we weren't really across the news because the first few days were conserving our phone batteries to keep an eye on what was happening with local efforts to clean up. So we weren't watching the news. We weren't reading the news on the phones either as much as we used to. So I don't know if we missed any federal or state announcements or sympathy or anything like that. But all I know is that in the last a few days ago, I guess last week, we started seeing me and personally started seeing more information about the government not being there for New South Wales and Queensland during this whole crisis and declaring a national emergency. What was it? 11 days after the fact. So I can't honestly answer that one. I don't know.
There was some reports, etc., that Palaszczuk, Queensland's premier, didn't want a national emergency declared. What do you know? What the situation is with that? What was that all about?
I did hear something about it or read headlines about it, but I suspect we weren't as affected at a national scale or even just a grand scale like New South Wales, where whole towns disappeared. So yes, we had a lot of homes being lost or damaged, but it may not have been worthy of, I don't know what the conditions are that need to be met for a national emergency in terms of flooding and things like that. But I don't think we were in that category. I think New South Wales definitely was. But that's just my personal opinion.
Well, I think that opinion probably goes for about 90% of Australia. I mean, you don't have to be Robinson Crusoe to work out that when your whole town is underwater and most of the things that you own are floating past your face, that it's a national emergency. I mean, seriously.
We went to our old local market in Calvin Grove last weekend because one of the fruit and veg people there, Luna Organic Farms, just to shout out to them. Luke, who's one of the co-owners there for that farm, his twin brother lives in Lismore and lost about $800,000 worth of material, pharmaceutical, I think he is. I think he owns a chemist from memory. So he lost heaps of stock. Everything pretty much got wiped. So he was looking at a drive for things that they needed. Not money. They didn't want any cash. All he wanted was things like camp chairs, because when you've been flooded, there's nowhere dry to sit. So that was a key requirement. So we donated all of our camp chairs that we had, that we rarely use. So that went. They were after perishable foods, non-perishable foods in tins and things like that. They want extension cords, power boards, so that when power comes back, they can start using things in their homes and things like that. So, so that's why I don't think we were that bad in Brisbane compared to Lismore and surrounding Northern River region. And he showed me photos of the destruction and things like that of just around Lismore. It's just like what you see in the TV, in the report. So yeah, it's pretty devastating.
Yeah, I mean, some of the vision has just been just astronomical to try to wrap your head around. Just obviously we can only empathize with what you've gone through, and we can only hope that that you get, sort of the compensation that's needed, etc., to rebuild the towns. And I mean, how's Brisbane looking at the moment? Is it still raining up there? What's the situation?
No, it's gotten quite dry lately, so it hasn't rained much. So I think I may have said in last week's show briefly or the week before that I'd be happy not to see rain for another few months.
Yeah.
It did spit a little bit today, but nothing of significance. But yeah, it's looking better. The roads have gotten back to normal. A lot of the rubbish that was thrown out on the curbs, council's picked up. I believe they're doing another round of cleanup in the coming week or two. Yeah, we've gone back to our old place and thrown out a few other things that were in the back corner of the house and things like that we didn't get to previously. So yeah, it's cleaning up. People are getting back to normal.
Yeah, well, as you said, you went back into work, which I was quite surprised by, because I didn't know if you'd be able to get there. Is the water subsided fine. Or?
Yeah, I think mainly in the first week, most of the water had subsided.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was fortunate. The parts around the city that I know of that I've gone past that were still under a little bit of water, maybe 10 days later.
Yeah.
But your major thoroughfare roads and things like that got you into town was perfectly clear.
So if you walk outside now and you could just walk down the road, you can just walk down the street. It's not. Oh, right. Okay. So there's no water. Oh, wow. That's nuts.
It's all gone. It's all gone now. So yeah, back to normal.
So okay, so that begs the question: where has it gone? Straight into the dams? Straight into the river? Where is it?
Probably into the river, and it'll be downriver now. Probably
back in the ocean. Yeah. Back in the ocean, I suppose.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Although the Brisbane River, there's no ferries running there at the moment. There's been warnings that over the past week.
Oh, right.
So, saying no boats should be on the river because
too high.
There's still a lot of debris under the surface of the water. So it's unknown how close to the surface it is. So you might be on your ferry, your private yacht, your little tinny. And who knows what you're going to hit at any point, even in the middle of the river. So they've told people don't go there.
That is crazy. That is crazy, my friend. That is very crazy.
Sure is, but we're getting back to normal. On to the next thing that cheers us up or puts us down.
Well, something that might cheer you up. This is a bit of a fun one.
Yes.
The Women's Network.
Oh my God.
I mean, how stupid. I mean, seriously. I mean, what a cock up. I mean, really. I mean, seriously. How long has this been going for? I mean, it's got to be asked. I mean, it's
either clever marketing.
Sorry?
Or it's either clever marketing to get the attention or some stupid shitty joke from some male person who created it.
Without a doubt. I love the fact it's Women's Network and a male would have created it. So the Women's Network logo, widely mocked for its phallic shape, has been withdrawn by the Australian Prime Minister's Department. The Department of Prime Minister and Cabinet issued a statement on Tuesday that the logo had been removed from its website pending consultation with the staff. What? They want to make it longer? Is that the consultation?
Sure, to make it more realistic.
That's it. They want to draw hairs on the thing. What is it? What's the consultation? Oh my God! The logo consisted of a cursive W with a domed protuberance, which women groups and social media users complained resembled male genitalia. Nah. There's no resemblance there. I can't see any.
Not at all.
Can you see any?
At first, I thought it was arse, and then I went, no, that looks more like boobs. And then when I started reading other Twitter comments and saw it's very phallic, I went, oh yeah, dick and balls. And I thought, you think in this day and age with the LNP always doing focus groups that this one just didn't even. It just got all of that.
I think you just hit the nail on the head. Obviously, being the operative word there, but
where's that?
Look, it could be around, could be a little bit slow, but But the thing is, I mean, if the LNP are having a consultation about anything to do with women's issues whatsoever, you can guarantee there will be nowhere near enough women in that room to come up with a sensible idea.
Yeah, exactly. And they'll
You
just
know,
be shut
it's
down
just
if they make any comment.
it's just ridiculous. Actually, I was reading an article today. It was just saying that sexy elbow is you know, all he has to do basically is stay alive during the election and he should win. You reckon ScoMo's that much on the nose? I wish that was true. I really do wish that was true. But, you know, like you, I'm very cynical and I don't believe that that will exactly be the case.
No,
It'd be good if it was, but I don't believe
yeah.
so. There was something else you want to talk about, Wednesday, as well.
Oh, was it about the progressive Victorian government, state government?
Oh, yes.
That one? Yeah.
Do tell. Do tell.
I only heard about it this morning on the radio, but looks like they're trialling sick leave for casual workers. As we know, there's a lot of casual workers in across the nation in all industries, especially hospitality, aged care, Uber, like all the
Oh yeah, all the gig workers, for sure,
economy.
for sure.
So they're trialing for 2 years in Victoria. Sick leave for the casual workers, so that if another pandemic happens, that they're covered and things like that. So I thought that was quite interesting.
I'm sure the normal sort of group of people that whinge about anything that someone else might get that they don't think they deserve will whinge about this.
Yeah,
but having a daughter that works in the hospitality industry and realizing, especially at her age, how bad the pay is for how hard they work, giving them, I think it's 8 days a year for sick leave. Is that right?
Yeah, I think it's something like that. Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I'm 100% on board with that. I think it's a great idea. And I mean, you being a contractor now, me being a contractor for 20 odd years, you know, in the past sort of thing, you know, I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing across the board. I mean, obviously it would cost a bit, et cetera, but
and then that's the problem. Who pays
yeah, but I mean, we're one of the most temporary workforces in the world. Did you know that?
No, I had no idea, but I'm not surprised considering the underemployment, the casual workforce, part-timers that we have.
If you go to, I think, Sweden or any of the Scandinavian countries, I don't think they hardly have part-time workers. I think it's permanent roles nearly everywhere. The UK's got heaps of contractors. I know that, but I think they've pared that back as well.
Right,
but
I might have to check out with my cousins in Denmark and see if they know what the distribution is for full-time, part-time, casual.
Hey, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Would we be able to get your cousins on the blurt? I'd love to know what's going on in Denmark. By someone who lives there.
I think they speak English. I know they understand English.
The Danes, they normally speak it fluently.
Yeah. I'll have to ask.
Another job for you, my friend.
Okay. Done. I'll ask my.
Excellent.
3 cousins there, so.
Yeah. No, that'd be good. No, that'd be awesome. And as I've alluded to on the blurt before, we have a lot of guests coming up. Well, between now and the end of the year, really, we'll be chock-a-block. But just with my show at the moment, it's just slowing things down a little bit because that's about all I can absorb. I'm so close to quitting, it's got to be said.
No, you can't quit.
I know. It's just
you're the poster boy.
It's doing. I know. It's doing my head in. It really is. It's doing my head in. No.
You'll get there.
What was
you're
that?
A pro. You're a pro. You'll get there.
Yeah. No. Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I have done this a few times before. Yeah. But it is pretty absorbing. Actually, talking about that, and you've probably seen the photo. Went to Ash Fiesermain's gig last week at the Comics Lounge.
Yeah,
and
the live taping.
Sorry?
The live taping.
Yes. And he would have had, I reckon he would have had about 400 people there.
Yeah,
It was,
okay.
I was really surprised. I didn't think he'd have that many people there, but they love him. They absolutely love the guy. So, and you can tell the love in the room too. I mean, you've spoken to him enough times. You know how cool he is. So, you know,
very down to earth.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I asked him or not, but I will. I'll see if he's coming up to Brisbane. I know he'll want to because he'll want to tour. He'll want to tour Australia when he sort of can. It'd be good for you to be able to catch up with him, maybe have a beer or something, which would be good.
Yeah.
He was just too slammed. There was no way that was ever going to happen. On one of his other sort of gig nights or whatever, I'd love to just catch up afterwards, have a beer and a chat. But just
because I normally do chat with regular folk after some of those shows.
Sorry, what was that, bud?
Some of the comedians do hang out at the bar after their shows.
Most do. Yeah, absolutely.
You know Lee Mack?
Yeah, he's great.
Comedian?
Yeah.
Kim and I went to see him at the Melbourne International Comedy Festival, God knows, I don't know, 10 years ago or more.
When he was touring.
When he was touring, and we had a few drinks with him.
Oh, really?
And it worked out that Lee Mack, his surname, is the same sound. It sounds the same as Kim's surname, McKillop, but spelt differently. One's M-A-C, the other one's M-C. And they both come from the same region of Northern England.
Oh, you're kidding?
So there's a lot of commonality between the two people.
Oh, nice. How was the chat? Was it good?
Oh, it was great. Yeah. It was he was down to earth. And I don't know, we must have spoken for about 15 minutes.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's pretty cool, man. That's very cool. That's very cool. But as they say, we need to crack on with the show.
Ooh.
And I think I might do a bit of this, but that's not happening. I think I really honestly, I am faffing about.
Hi, and welcome to Great People That Did Stuff.
So, Great People That Did Stuff is obviously all about great people that did stuff. If you've only just wired into the new blurt coming out to you from StreamYard. We've been doing this for a while now. We're on episode 70. And Great People That Did Stuff is all about, could be people that you know that have done stuff, i.e. Barack Obama, or it could be maybe Bob Hawke, or it could be Julia Gillard, or it could be Kamala Harris, or it could be whoever. Or it could be someone you've never heard of, but we know that they did some really good stuff. And in this case, there'll be many people that won't know this person. But I did want to allude to it because I think it's really important. And her name is Kimberly Kitching. And I did say at the start of the show that unfortunately she's not with us anymore. And that is heartbreaking because she's only 52. But a couple of things I did want to say about her is that before she was into Parliament, she was admitted as a solicitor by the Supreme Court of Queensland, and she moved to Melbourne in 1995. So she made a really good decision. And unlike Wendy that did the other way, but, can't have it always. Anyway, in the private sector, she worked for Looksmart before it was listed on the NASDAQ stock market, IQ Media, and Drake International. She was the general manager of Victoria No. 1 branch of Health Services Union, and she left after a few years. And apparently she was caught up in a royal commission into trade union government corruption relating to her time in the Health Services Union. I don't believe it was anything particularly huge. It was a bit of a witch hunt at the time. I remember Bill Shorten was called in for that as well, and nothing really came out of it. And also, as of 2015, a vice president of the Fair Work Commission found that Kitching had illegally completed testing on behalf of other union officials to gain rights of entry permits. Now, to be 100% honest, I don't really know exactly what that means, but I don't think it was criminal. Let's put it that way. Anyway, we'll fast forward a little bit. Senator in the government from 2016 to 2022, Kitching won pre-selection to fill the Victorian Senate seat vacated by Stephen Conroy, resignation on the 30th of September. And Kitching's pre-selection was supported by her close friend, and I talked about this as well, opposition leader Bill Shorten and the Labor Right. Shorten's support for Kitching generated tension in the party, which former frontbencher Anthony Albanese refusing to support her pre-selection, and legal affairs spokesman Mark Dreyfus threatening to resign from his position in the shadow cabinet, although he did not carry out the threat. Now, the interesting thing about that was in 2016. We're now in 2022. And after the 2019 election, Kitching was included in Anthony Albanese's shadow ministry as Shadow Assistant Minister for Government Accountability. She's also made Deputy Manager of Opposition Business in the Senate. If anyone knows anything about government at all, a Manager of Opposition Business or Manager of Business in the Senate is a very, very big job. So Albo must have come around, Wency.
Yeah, it must have.
For whatever reason.
Well, maybe he saw the potential that maybe
he must have.
The two
Absolutely.
factions could work well together, hopefully.
Yeah. Absolutely. Kitching criticised Victorian state ALP government for its support for China Global Belt and Road Initiative, saying it should have not entered into an agreement with the Chinese government on the Belt and Road Initiative. It's bad policy and bad optics. Now, as you know, ScoMo weighed in on that, didn't they? And they cancelled the whole lot. In June 2020, she was announced as a founding member of the Interparliamentary Alliance on China. In an interview on the ABC radio, she said the alliance of 13 democratic nations was to see that China was heading down a more liberal and democratic path. But I think when President Xi became president, that became a fainter and fainter hope. Well, unfortunately, we're seeing that all the time, aren't we?
Yeah.
So now, one of the really, really important things that she did do, and I think she put a few people's noses out of joint, was that she was a proponent of the Magnitsky-style legislation in Australia. And I'll explain what that is in a minute, and it's really important.
What it is.
Yep, no problems. And she introduced a private member's bill in August 2021 before the government introduced its own bill in 2021. So she's got a finger on the pulse the whole time. She's done so much since she's been in there. She's a very, very bright lady. So I will explain to you what the Magnitsky legislation is. It's all about the laws providing for governmental sanctions against foreign individuals who've committed human rights abuses or been involved in significant corruption. So what's happening now in Russia with what they're trying to pose sanctions against the oligarchs and freeze a lot of their cash, etc., that is sort of under the Magnitsky legislation, if you like. And where it came from is that it originated with the United States, which passed the first legislation in 2012, following the death of Sergei Magnitsky in Russia in 2009. Since then, a number of countries have passed similar legislation, such as Canada, the United Kingdom, and the European Union. So, so as I say, she had a finger on the pulse already. And, very, very tragic loss of life this week.
So young.
And,
I guess the stress, perhaps, they're saying that...
Sorry, matey, you're off the mic a bit there.
Sorry, they were saying that perhaps the stress of the pre-selection for this upcoming election was partly contributed to her untimely death, is what I've read. I don't know if that's true or not, but she was on a health kick recently.
Oh God, not her as well.
Yeah, well, I think she was just looking fitter, is what I read from some friends of hers, that she wasn't on a Shane Warne type diet, but obviously was starting to look after herself, a bit like what I should be doing.
All you have to do is get that out there in the kayak and just crack on.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to hit dirt now.
Or debris.
Yeah, or debris, kitchens and fridges and the like.
At least no sharks coming down the river anymore. That's
No,
pretty good.
not anymore. No, that's
No,
all. They're all hung up and dried. Been eaten for. It was served up as flake now.
Well, poor buggers.
Yes.
So, do you have anyone for great people that did stuff?
I do. I am going back several centuries, 8 centuries, in fact.
Excellent.
A Muslim polymath, an inventor, a scholar, a mathematician, an engineer, an artisan, and an artist, and he was the father of robotics.
So this one person did all of that.
Yes. Imagine having all those described as what you do.
That's nuts.
I'd be happy with just one of those.
Yeah, you and me both. Yeah.
His name is Ismail Aljazari, who was born in 1136 and died, they believe, 1206. So he was about 70 years old when he passed. He was born and raised in Cizre in the Artuquid state, which is a part of Turkey, of what is now known as Turkey, but it's basically the region of Turkey, Iraq, Syria. So think of that area of Middle East. So he was very creative, great inventor. He had written a book just before he died, and in it had 100 of his inventions that were fully detailed with schematics, illustrations, that pretty much any person could pick up that book now and recreate his inventions. Some of the stuff that he did were he created the very first 4 combination lock, where there was a little chest, and on the lid there were 4 dials that.
2 seconds, Wency.
Yep.
Just so people on the pod, just so you know, Wency's using his hands at the moment to show you the size of the box. He might actually need to say how actually long and square it is.
Well, it's hard to tell in photos, but I suspect it's about, 6 by 8 inches, let's say. And
Right.
on top of the lid, in each corner were dials similar to, just a dial. And the dial had 16 of the 28 Arabic alphabet underneath it. So
wow,
you got to choose any one of those, and the 4 combinations would unlock, obviously, the chest. So he was the first person to create something as complicated as that.
And what year was that, Wency?
That would have been in the late 1100s. 1100s, yeah. Yeah, so just before the 12th. So that's, what's that, 12th century?
Why have we never learned about this guy?
I don't know. Probably because the Western philosophers and inventors got all the highlights. I don't know. I'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, no problem. All good.
So what else has he done? He was also some of his other inventions were suction pumps. So he was into hydraulics. So he had suction pumps, created a water supply system, crankshafts that he created to move water from one location to another. He created musical robot bands where there'll be 4 robots playing different instruments, on the assumption that maybe that was for entertaining guests and things like that. He invented many clocks that used water. One of them being a massive elephant. Let's say, by the pictures, it looks like it could be, 2 meters in length and maybe 1.5 meters tall. And then on top of that, there's this complex array of gadgets that tell the time. He also created things like it's understood that he created the first alarm clock as well. So he's a very prolific inventor, and it's amazing that we've never heard of him.
It is. Do you know what though? It
Hmm.
is. It is incredible, and it is absolutely amazing. I was listening to a podcast this weekend, and it was the podcast was called something about, I should know. It was something blackness, and what it was about was all about how the African nation, if you like, how they were so responsible for building and contributing to building most of the world in the 1500s and the 1600s, etc. It was really interesting because the reason I bring this up is because we don't really and haven't really heard about these sort of histories, etc., because it's been so whitewashed through
Yes.
through our histories now. And just sort of adjunct to this, in the States at the moment, they have this massive argument about what they call critical race theory. And all that's about is teaching the systematic sort of racism, if you like, and the structural racism that is built into the American system. And basically the way that works is that you're black, so therefore you didn't get the advantages that a white person got instantaneously. And I'll give you a really classic example, is that when the slaves were emancipated from the South years ago, they went to the North. But when they went to the North, they weren't actually given anything. They were just going, "Oh, we're free. Oh, good." but that's it, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean that just gives you an example of disadvantage and structural racism. So the Republican Party over there at the moment is trying to get critical race theory taught in schools over there. And Ron DeSantis, who is the Florida governor, is an actual advocate of going into schools and banning it. And if schools try to teach it, he will fine the school. And getting back to that podcast I was talking about, it was really interesting because they were just talking about how many things the Africans have either invented or they had to, they were slaves, so they were forced to make, etc., etc. And one of the biggest one was with Thomas Jefferson. So Thomas Jefferson, as you probably know, was the first president of America. And he, or the second one, I can't remember. He's in the top three.
I know he's a president, but I didn't know which number.
Yeah, so anyway, and he was very bright, very articulate, and he wrote many sort of papers, etc., governmental papers and lots of things, etc., etc. But the other thing that never really gets expressed is how many slaves he owned. Out of all the presidents of America, he was one of the biggest slave owners. Right. And he even, it's been proved that he has fathered multiple children with slaves. And again, that isn't taught in their school either. So just not trying to, I had already done that, but not trying to elaborate on this point. But exactly as you're saying, this sort of Muslim scholar from 1100s, did you say?
Yeah, the 1100s.
Yes, so we're talking 1,000 years ago, and we, we don't even know who this person is, and he was so incredible. Yeah, it's criminal. It just is criminal.
Yeah, so most of his inventions made their way into Europe via Byzantium, Sicily, Italy, France during the Muslim Crusades. So that's when the Muslim cultures were expanding into Africa and parts of Europe and Western Asia. And there's some Leonardo da Vinci references to Ismail's mechanisms. So it looks like da Vinci may have used some of Ismail's own inventions to create other inventions or improve on things. So
much of that is coming out now. Yeah. Seriously, There is just so much that is coming out exactly down that road.
So I'm sure if we dig deep enough and find the right material or things that are written down somewhere, I'm sure we'll find more examples like that.
Yeah, no, definitely. 100% agree.
Yeah,
and
I thought he was quite interesting, that fella.
Sorry, Wenty?
I just thought he was quite interesting, that fella.
I
70.
No, I 100% agree with you. Absolutely. Very, very interesting. And definitely annoying that that we're not getting this history. But you're on the new blurt, so you can get it here.
Yes.
Nice work, Quincy. Very good stuff. We're just going to go for a quick break, and then we'll be back to what's on the box.
Hey guys, Ashley Fizame here. I want to say see you next week on the new blurt with Wency and Keksta.
Well, not next week, but he did see us last week. So that's Ash just not quite getting his weeks right. But I'll just have to have a chat to him about that.
Yes.
But
hey, man, get this crazy man off the streets.
But lately I've been drifting aimlessly.
Oh my God. Would you stop changing channels and just tell me what's on the box? So, Wenty, what's on the box?
What's on the box?
I'm excited.
When we saw this pop up on Netflix a few weeks ago, I almost had kittens. I almost wet myself. I don't know about you, but growing up in the 80s, I don't know if this is an Australian thing or a worldwide thing, but man, back in the 80s...
You were so excited you had a bit of this happening. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. For those listening, Keksta has shown the Women's Network phallic symbol. Bit of a hard-on. Yes. So eager was I to watch this that I had to see if our kids got into Monkey. Monkey is one of those shows that just, you look back on it, you go, it was the best show ever. And so I had to make sure that I had to watch it to see if it still was one of those great shows that I loved as a kid.
And it had Tripitaka in it?
Had Tripitaka, so it's a story, it's actually an ancient Chinese legend that traces the origins of Buddhism. It follows the adventures of Tripitaka and disciples Monkey, Sandy, and Pigsy. So they go from China to India, encountering demons and spirits and ghosts and in every episode. And
it was the coolest show. Yes, it was so cool.
It was. The music was great. The dubbing, because those who haven't seen it, it was a Japanese show based on Buddhism, filmed in China. I believe that the trip was China to India. Played by Japanese actors.
Were they all Japanese?
They were all Japanese, all the actors. Okay. It was originally shown in Japan as 2 series of 26, but then they changed it to 3 series of 13 episodes when they transmitted the series in the UK. But the last 13 episodes were never dubbed into English back then. So they have been dubbed more recently, those missing ones, in 2002.
Right.
So I had a look at Netflix to see if it included those newer versions or the newer episodes that were missing, and they're not. So I'll be curious to see. We haven't finished the episodes. We're up to series 2. I think we're halfway through. But I thought I'd play.
Yes, do play. Looking forward to it
because I do love the music. So Let's see if I can get this working. Oh,
Nice. What we got? Should be able to take the whole screen if you want it. Have we got the sound? Wency, have we got the sound?
okay. Was it too loud?
We can't hear it at all, Wency.
Can't hear it.
No, no sound.
Oh, I can hear it. Are we
Yes,
sharing?
you haven't shared your sound, bud. Sorry, mate.
Bloody technology.
Yes, exactly right.
All right. Let me try that again.
Yep.
I'm in the right browser.
Yeah. No, everything's good. Just dump it and make sure you share the sound. Just share the audio.
Is what I
Yeah, there you go.
Bloody technology and still on my L plates. Let me start that again. I was enjoying it. Really was.
Yeah, it'd be good if other people could enjoy it.
Can you hear it now?
No. I don't know if other people can, but I can't.
I ticked the box.
Damn, that's really annoying. No, I can't hear it. But if you quickly send me the link, I can play it probably.
Okay.
You quickly send me the link in the... let's see how we go.
Bear with me a minute.
All right, people, we're just trying to get the Monkey Magic link up at the moment. What we're getting is no sound. So we'd like you to hear it because Monkey needs sound. So what we're going to do is just do this. And this doesn't always work when you're on live and you're streaming, but we'll just give it a go. See how we go.
Ooh, I might have another way of doing it.
To stream.
The four worlds formed again and yet again, as endless eons wheel and pass.
I can hear that.
Time and the pure essences of heaven, the moisture of the earth, the powers of the sun and the moon, all worked upon us.
Yes, I can.
All as creation. And it became magically fertile. That first egg was named thought. Tathagata Buddha, the father Buddha, said, with our thoughts, we make the world. Elemental force.
It's so old.
The sound effects, the special effects.
It's so good.
It was so lame. It was so comical that it was too unbelievable, obviously, because they didn't have the technology at the time. It was shot on very
Monkey's
low
still
budget.
funky now.
Yes, we sing this song all the time now. Funkiest monkey that
Monkey
ever
magic.
lived. And there's Pixie.
Monkey magic.
It was one of my favourites.
Monkey magic.
But in series 2, it changed.
Monkey magic
A
now.
lot of things changed in season 2, which I wasn't happy about. Yeah.
He's having a wee next to the wall. Right.
No, that
Nice.
was Buddha's finger that he was weeing on.
What year was this, Wency?
It got released in 1979, and the final of those series, that series 2, was around about late 1981. So it ran
81. I was 12. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Yeah. So it ran
I
for
love
3 years,
this.
basically.
Oh, just loved it.
I
And so,
remember-
okay. So now we've
remember
got
as
it.
a kid,
It'll
I remember
go
as a
on
kid
for a little
getting-
bit. Because
I
this is quite
remember
a big...
it is very long. We'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah, no, definitely put it in the show notes. So where can people watch it, my friend?
Netflix. It is on Netflix.
It's nearly gone. It's still going. Sorry. It's gone now.
Yes,
It's in Netflix.
Netflix, you can find it.
Oh, excellent.
But I remember as a kid watching that show, I used to get Dad's rake out in the garden and and practice all those moves that Monkey did. And do you remember the famous?
Oh yeah, yeah,
When
definitely.
he summons the cloud that comes from the sky, and
Yes, so
it
just so
all did
people
that.
know, Wency put two fingers towards his mouth and went very quickly from side to side, and then he just like sort of
Whooshed it away. Whoosh.
got his finger to go slide to slide, and then he sort of whistled. That's what
Yes.
Monkey does. It's very
Gotta
good.
watch it. It's just
Yes, you
bloody
do.
awesome.
Yes, highly recommended. Yes,
Highly recommended.
highly recommended.
My rating is 5 out of 5 blurt stars for series 1.
Oh, okay.
Series 2, I give it 3 out of 5.
Yeah, series 2 wasn't as good. I agree. I do agree. And I can't remember why. Wasn't it something to do with a new Tripitaka or something?
No, it was a new Pigsy.
Yes.
And a lot of the dubbed voices were different. Oh,
Yeah.
fun fact.
Yes.
I can never get her name right. Margoyle? No, is that?
What?
Margaret Margoyle?
Margaret Margulies. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
She did the dubbing of all the female characters in the show.
What, in the original show?
In the dubbed version. So because it was an English production.
In 79.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm gonna have to listen to it just so I can hear her voice. That's phenomenal.
I
God.
can't tell. You can't tell.
Yeah, she's phenomenal. She is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But it was a fun fact. So that is a fun fact, and that was super cool. But you're very, very right. We're up to 52 minutes, and our beer's getting warm. I agree with you. So I'm going to just race through this one. It's a good one, but everyone will know it anyway, so that's fine. I'm just going to play a bit of this, and I'm sure you'll know what it is. And I'm just going to... Here we go. I'll just do a bit of this and a bit of this and a bit of this and that.
This is my first time in New York City. I want to be happy here. I want to make a life, a home.
Are you ready? Tonight is about family. The first gringo boy who smiles at you.
I never seen you before. You're not Puerto Rican.
Is that okay?
Do you want to start World War III?
You know, I wake up to everything I know either getting sold or wrecked or being taken over by people that I don't like.
You keep away from him as long as you're in my house.
I'm a grown-up now, Bernardo. I'm gonna think for myself.
Tony, we need you if we're going to war. Who are you? Friend or foe?
Dance off.
If you go with him, no one will ever forgive you. Life matters even more than love.
Doesn't it just want to make you get out there and go and watch it straight away?
It does.
No, it's pretty good. It is pretty good. As I said, it's the remake of Spielberg. Goes forever. So make sure you're loaded up with alcohol and popcorn, and you don't need to move. And we actually watched it in 2 sittings. It is.
Where do you watch it? Where's
Oh,
it been?
sorry, my bad. On Disney.
It's on Disney. Oh, right.
It's on
okay.
Disney. And
Might
the
have
other
to
thing,
watch it.
yeah, and the other thing I was going to say about Disney as well is that pretty much anything that's coming out at the movies at the moment, I think by Warner Brothers or something, or something along those lines. I'm not 100% sure, but it seems that they're all on Disney straight away. Like you can see French Dispatch, which is at the movies, on Disney now.
Right. They're coming
And
out to the
that's a
streaming
cracker of a
services
movie.
really
I
quick,
would
aren't
highly
they?
recommend. That's a Wes Anderson job. Same guy that did the Great Budapest Hotel.
Ah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah. And and you can see, thumbs up.
How many Black Stars?
West Side Story, probably 3.5, 4. It's not my favorite musical in the world, even though it is fantastic and it's really, really cool. But let's put it this way: Hamilton, I would give 4.5, close to 5. Hamilton's a masterpiece, absolute amazing. But West Side Story, some people absolutely adore it. I think look, don't get me wrong, I think it's really good. Some of the songs are really, really nice. Some of the dancing's really good. The fight scenes are pretty real. It's really good. But one thing that's really, really interesting, and I do want to see if I can just get this right, because it would be worth my while doing so. Just give me 2 seconds here. Just 2 seconds.
It'd be interesting to compare it with the original from 1961.
Yes. Well, this was just trying to have a look here. Just trying to get the cast from the 2021. And the reason I want to get the cast is because the best supporting actress, best picture, musical, for Zeg. Oh, come on! What happens when you can't find something straight away? It's really annoying. Here it is. So it stars Ansel Elgort and Rachel Zegler in her film debut with Ariana DeBose. And Rachel Zegler, she's only 20 years old, I believe. This is her first film. She is outstanding.
Okay.
Her voice is off the chain. Absolutely unbelievable. Absolutely. Yeah. Spielberg, he's always finding something. But they're all pretty good. But she's off the chain. So, yeah.
How would you compare it to In the Heights, the one by Lin-Manuel?
Yeah, no, I preferred In the Heights.
Yeah, me too.
But that's a bit. I don't know. I love Lin-Manuel Miranda's stuff. I like his writing, but I don't know. I suppose it was a little bit more modern. I think In the Heights wasn't it?
Same era, I think, or close
to.
Was it
really? I don't think it was in the 60s.
No, it's probably 80s.
I think it was the 80s or 90s or something.
80s,
but
it's a bit more
I just enjoyed the story more. But I think that's because he would have been influenced by musicals like this from years ago, whereas Spielberg has remade an original masterpiece, if you like, because at the time it would have been a masterpiece back in 61. It's Leonard Bernstein and what's his name wrote the score. I should know his name.
Sondheim?
Yes, Sondheim. Yeah. I think didn't Stephen Sondheim just die? I hope I got that right.
He passed away a few months ago.
Yeah. What an incredible talent! What an incredible talent he was.
So many shows we've seen of his and introduced to our kids as well, like Into the Woods. What else have we watched?
Sorry, just off the mic there a little bit.
Yeah.
What was it?
Into the Woods we've seen with our kids.
That's a good one. With James Corden.
Yes.
And Emily Blunt.
No, Emily Blunt. Yes.
Yeah. And I think what's her name is in it too. The girl from Pitch Perfect.
Oh yeah. Anna Kendrick.
Yes, Anna Kendrick. Yes.
Oh, the dingo ate my baby. What's her name?
Oh, Rebel was what?
No, the dingo ate my baby.
Oh, Meryl Streep. Yes, she plays the witch. She plays the witch. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a
I couldn't
cracker,
remember
actually.
the name
I
of it.
really, yeah, I enjoyed Into the Woods. Very good,
Yeah.
very good. Now, as we
Yeah.
were alluding to before, we really need to do this.
Get on the beers.
We are.
Oh, that sound, that wonderful sound. Look, I'm more than happy to go first here, mainly because mine's going to be really fast.
Okay.
So,
I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
can you see that?
Mountain goat? Is that
Mountain
goat?
goat, mountain goat, summer ale, summer ale.
Summer. That seems like you've got the perfect weather for it tonight.
Yeah, I'm sweating my blahs off. Hence why I keep taking my glasses off, because they keep fogging up. I can't see. Look at that. Look at that colour.
Oh, you'll have to hold it up a bit higher.
I will.
All
I'll
I
get
see is
there.
the froth.
I'll get there. Look
I
at
just see the
that.
froth.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah. Nice and golden.
That
Very
is
summery.
beautiful. That is beautiful. Okay, so let's go with the tasting notes, my friend. Oh, hold on. Before we do, no, I can't read anything. What with the tasting notes? What have we got, my friend?
Sorry, I should have prepared for this earlier. I forgot about.
Oh, come on!
Notes.
What are you doing? You've had a whole 2 weeks. Come on.
Well, I'm out of practice.
I don't know. Got to get you back into practice. Come on.
Yes. It is a loading. Bear with me.
Oh, yummy. It's warm.
we need to start remembering to do the education first.
I know. I was surprised you put it last. But anyway, the show's always better when you do it first.
It is. Is that because the content gets better? Because we've had a little drink?
It does. Get all loosey-goosey.
Oh, dear.
Come on. You got those notes? What's going on?
I do.
Come on. You're the chief technical officer of this operation. When you get these notes out.
I'm not. Yeah. It's a fail. Where is it? I don't have a blank sheet anymore.
What happened to it?
I don't know.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, hang on. I found it. Got it.
Okay.
Let me share it.
You got it?
Yeah. Let me share it. Share screen. Here we go. About to share. Can you see?
Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Okay, my friend, you count them down.
How do I get it to type? That's the next problem.
What are you doing?
Where's my pencil?
I'm not getting involved.
There we go. So
Look at that.
Mountain Gold Summer Ale.
Yes.
All right. Let's start.
Well,
Appearance.
Appearance is beautiful. And what's that out of 10, is it?
Out of 10.
Out of 10. Oh, well, I'd say 8. That's pretty damn good.
8. Oh, nice. The smell. How is the smell?
Oh, smell good. Good smell. Probably 8 there as well.
Oh. Looks like we're on a winner so far. Taste. The taste. Out of 30 points.
Taste is very, very good. The summer ale is really good beer.
That's going easy.
I'd probably say 24. I'd probably give it 27 if it was cold. But...
Let's split the middle, go 25.
Okay, fair enough. Aftertaste. So basically what we're saying is, aftertaste, do you want another one? Yes, but it would have to be cold.
Yes.
Yeah, no, look, I'd probably give that 16.
16, nice.
Drinkability 30.
Would you go back for more and more? and recommend it.
If it's cold, I would, yeah. So that's 25. Yeah.
25. All right, you do the maths.
So we're looking at 82. 82, my friend.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty
not
happy with
bad.
that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, mountain goat make a good
I'm
brew.
going for mine.
How warm's that?
It's actually pretty cold still. Surprising. So I have Yuli's brews.
Yuli's brew. Interesting.
Let me just take focus off.
What's it called? Stick bricks or something?
So it's Slick Rick's.
Oh, Slick Rick's Yuli's brew.
Yep, and it's a rampaging red ale.
Yeah, wow. What did that set you back?
I don't know, under $10.
Oh,
probably about $7.
Yeah, okay.
Most of the ones I usually pick are anywhere between $7 and $9. So
which is a lot of money, I reckon, for a can of drink.
It is for a drink.
Yeah. I'm the same as you. I only ever get the one.
Yeah. There's not many that I go back for seconds and thirds, although I've got to go back to my notes and go, oh yeah, I need to buy more of those.
Yeah. All right, come on, let's go.
But this
Where
one is a combination of 5 carefully selected malts, 3 pungent US and Australian hop varieties. Slick Rick presents a deep amber red colour.
And where's it come from?
New South Wales,
okay.
Alexandria, suburb of Sydney.
Alexandra, did you say?
Alexandria or Alexandra?
Oh, yeah. I think I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Slick Rick's Yuli's brew. Try saying that 5 times fast. Well, it's definitely red. No doubt about that. What's the alcohol content on that?
It is. Well, I can't view my notes at the same time. Give me a second. It's nice and brown.
Oh, wow.
Reddish.
Look at that colour. The colour's awesome.
Deliciously.
Beautiful pour, too. Nice job.
Yeah, 6.2%.
Very good. Just so anyone who's watching, just so you know, that's actually how a pale ale is meant to be. None of this pour it down the side shit and not have any sort of head. That is exactly how it's meant to be. So that's perfect pour by Wency there. Very, very experienced pourer.
You've got to have the mustache when you drink it.
As we said before, and as we've alluded to, you most definitely need to have that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, I'm going to go with the better get drinking notes.
Yeah, let's get the tasting notes up and wrap this baby up.
Yes.
Cracked over an hour tonight. That's what happens when you come on. We crap on longer.
Yes. Appearance. I love the color of this one. It's really
it's awesome. Brown,
reddish color, but I love it. I'm going to give it 9.
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
Especially with the pour and the head that it came with. Smell. Can't really smell much at the moment, but I'll give it an 8. Can definitely smell something caramelly in there.
Probably most of the rivers in Sydney.
Yes. I was going to say it almost looks like the Brisbane River.
Yeah.
With all the shit that was in there. Not that this tastes like shit, because the taste, I would say, is worthy of...
Be interesting. Interesting.
Ooh. Bit of chocolatey taste there. Oh, yeah, yum. I'd give it a 27 out of 30.
Did you say 27?
27. I'm really enjoying this one.
Giddy aunt.
Aftertaste. I can still taste the chocolatey even after many seconds.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd give that 17. Drinkability, I'd go 26. I'm really enjoying this one. I have to share.
You are enjoying that one, aren't you?
Ooh.
Oh, sorry. Did you find out
All
what
right.
the alcohol content was on that?
6.2 it is.
Wow. You're really going to enjoy that.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Polymath. I'm going to call you Ismail the Polymath.
Oh, right. Sorry. Okay. I'm doing the maths, aren't I? What was I thinking? Right. So we're at the 360. What's that? Oh, gee whiz. That eclipsed mine. 87.
87. Oh.
That is huge. That is massive.
I really enjoyed that one.
That is massive. 87. Wow. Well, I'll tell you, both beers are good, but gee whiz, yours wins. That was phenomenal.
Oh, that's great.
Absolutely.
Good choice beers. So anyone out there listening or watching, before summer's out, get yourself a summer ale from Mountain Goat, or if you're into the red ales, get the Yule's Brews.
Definitely, and we will have both in the show notes, so you'll be able to absolutely go out there and find yourself a beer of choice. In this case, those ones. So, all right, my friend, I reckon that is our probably our cue to get the flock out of here.
Yes. What have we got next week?
It's a great question. We won't. I don't know. It'll all be better and more professional when I finish this damn show. But I'll just plug this show again. So the Comedy Festival, Clock Tower, 2nd, 3rd of April, 3 shows. One is a matinee, and I can't remember for the life of me which day it is, but you can have a look. We'll have the link is in the show notes. The link will be in the show notes until the show finishes. But so each time you see it come out, the next 2 weeks you'll still see it. And so basically, end of next week is the show. So yeah, it's all happening. We've got a full dress rehearsal, I believe, this weekend. The first time the red Speedos will be coming out. So it's going to be an interesting day.
Watch it on the Twitter feeds.
Yes,
Instagram.
well, I tell you, costumes make it, though. As soon as you start putting costumes on, you really start playing the characters.
Yeah, I bet. I think that's when you probably start getting excited, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, I was so completely exhausted last weekend. Just it was a big weekend. I'd done quite a lot of work around the house, and I did a bit of work around our other house, we're selling. So, and so it's just pretty big and sort of, and it's hot and sweaty. And then we had that, as I say, another hour and a half, 2.5 hours or whatever of practice. It's just watch you out. So, but anywho, enough of me and more of us, and we will see you next week. So good night, everyone. And anyone on the pod, good night to you as well. Oh, and I will say, sorry, go for it.
I was just going to say, hopefully you'll have a different shirt next week. So a little birdie tells me you've had that 3 days in a row.
This shirt? That is not true. That is not true at all.
Okay.
This shirt gets a good run, mainly because it's light and it's so hot, it's so sweaty. I need something that doesn't stick to me. So I can't wear a t-shirt. No way. I feel like I'm in a sauna. So
all right, we'll have to let your friend know.
I've got to get a fan in this room. I'm telling you, I'm dying. But it might be good for me. I might lose another 7-8 kilos before the show. But anyway.
Down to Melbourne and lose some weight in that sauna.
Yeah. Wow. Good night, people. I will see you next week. I look forward to it. And until then. No. Jesus. Fuck. Where is it?
The other way. That's it.
There we go.
Wait.
Jesus, we're old. All right, see you, people.
See ya.